about 10 miles or so southwest of downtown Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood.
Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the New Orleans Saints and the Los Angeles Chargers. Here's Will Lutz ready to get this one started. And we are underway in Southern California.
On the return, Andre Roberts from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Play action this time for Justin Herbert. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A glimpse of his athleticism there and what they're going to have to deal with. He can use his legs to dance around back behind the line of scrimmage and beyond the line of scrimmage.
And wouldn't you love to get a copy of their defensive scouting report going into the week? Because that's been stressed the whole time. Keep him bottled up. Keep him in the pocket. But it's the first drive of the game and emotions are running high. Someone forgot that, trying to make a big play, and gave up a bigger one instead.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game.
Herbert will give this one to Eckler.
They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Well, obviously they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now.
And behind the chains, 2nd and 13.
Here's a quick throw caught by Allen. Those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. And he's got it. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Eckler. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. Trying to punch it in with Eckler. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
We all know how much running backs love getting the ball down near the goal line. They think they're going to find a way into the end zone. He hasn't had that kind of luck so far. Ends up not getting in on the last 2 carries. You know he's going to be upset about a missed opportunity.
Flush to his right.
And oh, that nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They snap it to Herbert. This is intercepted.
Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And the Saints are going to take Possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive.
At their own 8-yard line.
A first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now Hill. That is caught by Callaway. Taking it right down Broadway. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Well, we know that he can beat you in a number of ways. He can catch it short, he can take it long, or he can do what we just saw right there, catch it and then run with the football.
Now Sean Payton going to say, let's go for 2 on this one.
Hill looking to throw for it.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Popular down near the goal line, quick slant. Nice job there to get in, knock it away.
It was, and one of the other things you're concerned about when you throw that route is to make sure your offensive linemen use their leverage to get the hands of the defensive front down so you can throw it through that little bit of crowd and get it to the receiver. In this event, they did, but a nice play by the defender knocking it away.
The Charger drive about to get going. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it?
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. The handoff, it's Eckler. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
It's a loss of 1. Brings up 3rd and...
Herbert on 3rd down now.
And brought in by the tight end Cook. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan wreaking havoc with a sack.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis.
And the Saints will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
And the Saints first down.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
He's tackled at the 40.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-year.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted.
Picked up by Michael Davis. And the Chargers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. CD, he tried to kind of lob that one in there. It looked pretty going through the air. The problem was it was in the air a little bit too long.
Yeah, that's a tough one because for that type of a route and what he tried to do and needed to do, he had to put a little air under it, and the defender was actually able to take advantage of it because it hung up there just long enough for him to get there and take it away.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
He'll get this to his tight end. That's Steven Anderson.
And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, LA! Steven Anderson taking it goal line to goal line, 100 yards. And the Chargers are an extra point away from moving out in front. Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. He's got it, and they take the lead at 7-6. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Now it's Hill.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
After the turnover, here's Herbert.
Open man is Palmer.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
At the 34-yard line.
To throw again on 2nd down.
Herbert.
It's complete to Cook. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10.
And they run the option here on 1st and 10.
Yet again, just a bruising carry. And the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half.
1st and goal at the 2-yard line.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down.
And this time he is in.
Austin Eckler. Fine work there on the touchdown run.
And the Chargers are going to add on to their lead. Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead is up to 8. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
This is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
And we'll see how they want to play this. Just a little over 20 seconds to go.
They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Now Hill looking to throw on 1st.
They'll get this out to Kamara.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 37.
Here's Hill. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break.
Both these teams, no doubt, making their final halftime adjustments as we speak. And for the call of the second half, we get it back out to Brandon Gotti and Charles Davis.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they're on the short end of the scoreboard here. Charles, what adjustments, if any, do you think they need to make for the second half?
Well, paraphrasing the gold medal hockey winning coach Herb Brooks, I just say you continue to play your game.
There he goes, right side.
Oh, it don't matter.
Touchdown, New Orleans.
Alvin Kamara, Charles, a guy from your alma mater there in Knoxville, and he has developed into a perennial Pro Bowler on the strength of big plays like we just saw there.
And that's why he's one of the best running backs in the game today, because this run combined all the elements. Started with patience, and he was just waiting for the right lane to materialize. Then once he saw it, he used his speed and escapability in tandem and turned this into a tremendous play.
They'll try and throw for it. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. And a little element there of chasing points, because that's the second time they've had a failed 2-point conversion. Now they're down 2.
Yeah, you don't kick it the first time, and now you feel like you're in a position where you have to go for 2 in this spot. The chasing points, hard to catch up. That's why a lot of coaches make it a hard, fast rule. Don't go for 2 unless you absolutely have to.
The Charger drive about to get going. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a 1-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a 1-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change. Because otherwise, that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
From the 24, Herbert. On Herbert, his 3rd interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
All right, Brandon. Normally when you hear about guys making 2 interceptions in the game, you're thinking must be a free safety, maybe a corner. How about getting 2 picks out of one of your linebackers? Again, he's just in the right place at the right time. And that's another great play to come away with the football.
Again, this is Kamara, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now it's Kamara in the passing game. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
On second down, Kamara. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6.
First and goal at the 6-yard line.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown.
Alvin Kamara
with now his second touchdown of this third quarter. And once again, the Saints are back out in front. Now Sean Payton going to say, let's go for 2 on this one. They'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation. This time, unsuccessfully. I just wondered maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
The Charger drive about to get going. And now they'll look to answer working from behind. And remember, this offense has sputtered yet to score here in the second half. They'll need to change that here. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Mario Davis. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and
Here's Herbert.
at the 27-yard line.
Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big gain that time for the Chargers. Running on first down, Eckler. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10.
That's another Chargers first down. 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass.
Got his man, it's Williams.
7 yards, the pickup there.
A 7-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down.
Herbert.
Finding Williams once more, complete.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
10 at the 13-yard line.
They go back to the ground now with Eckler. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Mario Davis on the tackle. 1-yard gain.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
The 11-yard line.
On the option, here's Eckler.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
It's now 3rd and 8.
So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown.
Josh Palmer
There to make the grab. And the Chargers have once again taken the lead. Important extra point up and through. So it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages as a field goal now can only tie it. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
Now you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and then completions to use the clock.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. He'll air it out deep for Thomas.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Chargers have just about sewn up this football game. Well, you knew you had to take some chances here with the clock winding down, needing a touchdown to win it, and that one might have just sealed their fate.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the 2-minute drill. The offense trying to go downfield and make their plays. But defenses, they're sitting back watching everything that they do, but not too far back. They want to be in position to make a play on the ball, and that they did.
41 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
And he stopped immediately there. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
At the 45-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. On the give, this is Eckler. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
Brings up 2nd and 1 at the 26-yard line.
On 2nd down, Eckler down to the 25. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. So this one's over. It's in the win column for the L.A. Chargers, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways